some more exciting fan theories are making waves for matters with the Judgment Day. We'll also check out what's up with Jade Cargill, NXT, and more. Starting things off with Jade Cargill and what's new for her. Jade has been on top of the women's division over the last few months, but she just dropped the women's title at WrestleMania to Rhea Ripley. A lot of fans were curious to see where Jade Cargill goes next and what she does following that WrestleMania loss. Does her faction stay together? Would they fall apart? Will she get a rematch? All those different types of questions is what everyone has been asking. But the SmackDown after WrestleMania did not feature Jade Cargill at all. And this is mostly due to the fact that Jade Cargill was in Cincinnati for her husband Brandon Phillips and his induction into the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. So fans are looking at that as the reason why Jade Cargill was not a part of the SmackDown after WrestleMania. During a post-WrestleMania interview, Jade Cargill noted that she actually had no clue if she was getting a rematch or not. Jade pointed out how Tiffany Stratton never got a rematch when she lost the title, so Jade has no idea what their plans there really are. The SmackDown after WrestleMania did put a lot of attention on the idea of Jacy Jayne and Fatal Influence coming after Rhea Ripley and that women's title. So with them already hinting at Jacy and Rhea entering a full feud, it seems possible that Jade may not get a rematch for the title right away. What also may be an interesting direction for Jade Cargill is a faction versus faction battle. Jade Cargill has 3 women on her side, and Jacy Jayne also has 3 women on her side that just came to SmackDown. So maybe this could be something for Jade and her faction to get up to on SmackDown. You can have Jade and Jacy battling things out for that #1 contender spot, while also having a faction versus faction battle. No one wants to see Jade and Jacy's factions battle each other for 8 months, but if it's a short and sweet little battle there, that could be something fun to see for sure. And like we mentioned a few days back, Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa appear to be on the verge of starting up their own trio alliance too. So the SmackDown women's division could break into all these different groups and cliques. You would have Jade's group, Jacy's group, and potentially even Rhea's group, but it may not be an instant rematch for Jade Cargill. It looks like she may have to climb back up the ladder to compete for the title again, especially with all these new call-ups and other superstars coming in as well. So we'll have to see how long it is before Jade Cargill becomes #1 contender again and comes for that big rematch. Speaking of big main roster call-ups, even more of them were officially announced for SmackDown. Ricky Saints is being called up to SmackDown and will make his official debut on May 1st. Ricky Saints accomplished everything there is to accomplish in NXT, with multiple title reigns and massive feuds. So sky's the limit for him on Friday Night SmackDown. It's obviously going to come down to the writing and what they have planned for him, but everyone knows the talent is not a question at all. Ricky is extremely talented, we just gotta see how they use him. The last few main roster call-ups for the men's division have actually been pretty solid as of late. Obafemi debuted at the Royal Rumble and had a lot of big and impressive moments over the last few months. And all of those moments reached a climax when he defeated Brock Lesnar in Brock's final WrestleMania match. Likewise for Trick Williams. Trick has been a huge hit on the main roster. He won the United States title and even had to be turned into a babyface due to how popular he was getting. So the recent NXT call-ups for the men's division have really skyrocketed in their first few months on the main roster, and hopefully Ricky Saints follows that same trajectory. The SmackDown women's division will also be getting even more depth, with Blake Monroe getting called up as well, which is another massive addition for SmackDown and a perfect fit. The SmackDown women's division was a deserted ghost town in the opening months of 2026. But now with Rhea Ripley being traded over, Paige and Brie Bella coming over, the call-up of Fatal Influence, and now Blake Monroe arriving, the SmackDown women's division is finally in a great spot with lots of depth. Blake Monroe is a phenomenal talent that brings everything to the table. She's extremely rich in character depth and outstanding in the ring, so everyone really has high expectations for her SmackDown arrival and for her to be one of those call-ups that instantly skyrocket. And there is lots of options and routes for them to take Blake Monroe in as well. With Tiffany Stratton just becoming the new Women's United States Champion, that could be a great feud there for Blake to jump into. The Women's United States title has been brutally ignored and disregarded since its introduction, so a Tiffany versus Blake feud may actually be the very first thrilling rivalry in the entire history of the Women's United States title. Or Blake Monroe can also come after the women's title as well. So a lot of big expectations are in place for all of these new call-ups that are coming to SmackDown. Two major feuds are continuing for the Judgment Day post-WrestleMania, and fans have some interesting theories for how both of these feuds could come together. Liv's first opponent of her title reign will be Stephanie. This was evident by the Raw After WrestleMania episode where Stephanie came out to have a stare down with Liv. And this is a feud where everyone doesn't mind it actually getting extended because their WrestleMania match together felt like a preview due to how short it was. So fans are still looking forward to a full match between Liv and Stephanie. That's something we still haven't seen so far, so that's what's keeping this feud fresh for the time being. We're all waiting to see that big full-length match between Liv and Stephanie, where they're both healthy and nothing has to get cut short. And also on the Raw After WrestleMania, we saw Dominik continue his issues with Finn, a clear sign that things there aren't finished at all, and will continue. And fans are coming up with the idea for these two feuds to be combined into a mixed tag team match between Finn and Stephanie versus Dominik and Liv. Fans are even taking it to the next level and wondering if Finn and Stephanie can wear matching body paint. Finn Balor has the face paint that he always wears with the demon persona, and Stephanie is also known to experiment with face paint as well for some of her special matches. So what if Finn and Stephanie had this special matching face paint and matching look for the mixed tag team match against Liv and Dominik? That would be an insane visual to see. Stephanie has her own dark presence about her, and Finn has the dark presence of the demon persona. So it could make for a pretty impactful mixed tag team right there. That would be quite the challenge for Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan to overcome. It's very hard to picture Liv and Dominik defeating Finn and Stephanie in these insane and matching evil forms. Gotta imagine that Dominik and Liv would not come out of that match victorious. As far as what Finn and Stephanie will get up to after their feuds with the Judgment Day, fans expect their momentum to continue. For Finn, he's reverting back to his original look from before he joined the Judgment Day. His old entrance is back, his old theme is back, and even brought back his trunks as well. It was reported that Finn could even top off his babyface run with some championship gold, so we'll have to see if he could get his hands on either the Intercontinental title or even the World title. Similar thing for Stephanie, she may not get the Women's World title back from Liv, so it'll be interesting to see what's next for Stephanie after this feud with Liv. Hopefully she doesn't get lost in the shuffle and can still have a big presence on television even outside of the world title picture. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.